take your talents and place them on the altar and say, "Here am I, Lord. Send me."
It was a terribly painful moment, more painful than I care to remember. I felt I had nothing to offer God but a string of failures. What could he possibly want from me? The answer to that question will probably surprise you, because there's a strength that can come from weakness. There's a strength that lies hidden in failure. You might not think so, but there is. I'm living proof.
Where's Mom?
She's up the hill with your dad. They're about ready to move the house.
They are?
Don't go getting any fancy ideas. Your mom said you needed to stay here and do your chores.
Chores is done.
Josh, come back here.
I had known for a while they were going to move the house, but I didn't know exactly when, and I was so excited. How were they going to do it? I was just a kid. What did I know? Was a helicopter going to come down from the sky, or airplanes fly over and lift the house up and take it away?
This house belongs to me, and it's staying here! I don't want you boys off of my property!
Keep working.
What? Ain't you gonna do something? I want these men off of my property!
Sorry, Wilmot. According to this court order, that house now belongs to Junior, and he can move it if he has a mind to.
I built that house!
And promised it to your son.
The hell I did!
You were too drunk to remember. I have witnesses. Come on, we're taking those bushes.
Taking no bushes, Junior. I tell you, get on out of here!
I had no idea of the conflict unfolding that morning. I just figured the crowd I saw at the top of the hill meant we were going to have some kind of celebration. But instead of a party, I came face to face with the misery and dysfunction of my family, played out in front of all of our neighbors and so-called friends. They had turned out to support my brother Junior against our parents. It was completely shameful and embarrassing, and something inside me just broke that day. I blanked out at that moment. My mind went numb. I think emotionally I snapped, because I can't remember what happened over the next several minutes. But my last conscious thought, I remember running down the hill in front of everyone, just crying and screaming. Have you ever felt abandoned?
I hate you, God! I hate you!
Have you ever felt nobody cares whether you live or die?
And I hate you, Dad!
That's how I felt at 11 years old when I was hiding in the silo. I felt I had no one to turn to. And I became angry. I became angry at God, if God even existed. And I damned him. I called him every name in the book. And I cursed and damned my father too, because I felt he had abandoned me. My father was an alcoholic. He was a town drunk. My mother was so overweight, she was practically an invalid. One of my sisters committed suicide. My other sister joined the Army just to get away from home. My oldest brother, Wilmot, he actually sued my parents in a court of law. It wasn't a very happy home. And I can remember so often just feeling alone, like I was just completely alone. I was in that silo for about 3 hours, maybe more, and no one even came to look for me. Finally, I was just so hungry and thirsty, I climbed out and went home. I slammed the door shut on God that day. In fact, probably one of the greatest hurts is that I never, ever wanted to go to a friend's house again. I felt such shame. I think I just gave up on the notion that love is patient or kind or even rejoices in the truth. And to be honest with you, I never thought that door would ever open again.
Josh, what are you doing out here? You need to start your chores, boy. Hurry up now. All right, Cal. Whoa! Come on, go. Come on. Come on.
What is that man doing with them cows now? Worse than dealing with a small child and his liquor. What is going on out here? Oh, Lord, not again. Well, what, McDowell? Are you milking these cows or are you just trying to kill them? I got my own chores to do. Not to do everything around here.
All you do around here is get fatter by the day.
Useless old drunk. This cow's milked out right here, this one. You can't even take care of a cow, for heaven's sake.
Get out the back doors and back. Got your chores done here, huh?
I'll kill you! You hear me? I'll kill you! I swear you'll pay! You'll see!
Josh.
No.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Just go get Wayne. He's gonna change, son. I know he's gonna change. Just go get Wayne. Just get him.
Crying's not gonna do anyone any good, Josh.
Wayne Bailey was used to my dad hurting my mom,
It's your mother again, ain't it?
and he was used to me asking for his help. He worked in the house because Mom was just too slow and too heavy for most of the household chores. I suppose he handled that side of things well enough. It was the other things that he did. As far as handling my dad was concerned, I didn't need help from Wayne or anyone else. When you grow up on a farm, you learn to do a lot of things as a kid. You also get pretty strong. If I knew friends were planning to come by the house, I took matters into my own hands, partly to avoid embarrassment from my dad, who was always drunk, and partly to pay him back for what he did to my mom.
Josh, what are you doing?
Stay there!
What are you doing? Josh, I didn't mean to. Josh, I'm your father, Josh.
Some father you are. Now don't you make a sound. You hear me? Hello, Mr. O'Brien. Hello, Mrs. O'Brien.
Howdy, Josh. Where's your dad?
He had to go into town. But my mom's inside. She's expecting you.
Thank you, Josh.
Come on in, folks.
Come on in.
Just in here taking this chicken out of the oven. Have a seat over there.
I would leave my dad in the barn all night. I don't know how many times I would do that, but I would do just about anything to humiliate him. I can remember watching him go out to hide his wine bottles, and then I'd go out and urinate in them. One time the police pulled me off my dad when I was trying to choke him underneath the water in the bathtub. I hated him so much. I used to go to the bathroom and stick his head in the toilet and flush it. And as a kid, all I ever wanted was to stop my dad from hurting my mother. And I couldn't do it. He never retaliated directly. He could have. I mean, I was still a kid. I think when he sobered up, even though he didn't stay sober long, he must have realized what he was doing to my mom and the family. I think he was ashamed. I don't know for sure. But life went on.
You got them rolls in there? Here we go. All right, fellas, we got some nice hot rolls for you. There we go. And if you will start that butter down this side. And Josh, your father and I have to talk to you after supper.
Darling. Yes. Yes. Oh, my. Yes. Beautiful. I have something for you.
I want you to obey Wayne. No excuses.
How long will you be gone?
Well, I don't know. What, a week maybe? 10 days at the most.
That's a long time.
What ails you, son? Your dad and I have made trips like this before. Wayne knows how to take good care of you. You just do what he says.
Why don't I come with you? I came with you once before.
Jocelyn David McDowell, you cannot go with us. You're starting school next week. And I want you to listen to me. When I get home, I am going to ask Wayne how you behaved. And if I hear you didn't listen to him, I'm going to give you a good thrashing. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, now you go on to bed. I need to see if Wayne washed those dishes.
How long will you be gone?
A week, maybe? 10 days at the most.
That's a long time.
Presenting Superman. Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
Josh.
It's Superman! Now, Superman. Sent down the main line.
Relax. Relax, Josh. Just relax. It's all right. Josh, stay with me. Yeah, it's all right. You know how you like this.
Twice I tried to tell my mother, but she wouldn't believe me. You know, back then, people didn't talk about these things, or at least they weren't supposed to exist. But Wayne Bailey severely abused me sexually from about 6 to 13 years of age. And then one day, it ended.
You ever touch me again, I'll kill you. You understand me?
He must have stayed another 2 or 3 years. Then he left. He knew I had a temper and I would have killed him. As I grew older, sports became a vital outlet for me, especially football and basketball. Every once in a while, my mother came to one of my games, but she never saw me play. All she ever did was sit in the car and cry because she was too heavy to sit in the bleachers.
Where is he? Where is he?
No, Josh, no, don't. Just let it go. There's only one thing I want before I die.
Die? What are you talking about, Mom?
I just want to see you graduate from high school.
Mom, I'll be out in 2 months. You know that.
Well, I know, son. Josh, you have to promise me 3 things. You gotta promise me that you will never, ever be an alcoholic. And you won't swear. You promise me that you'll be the kind of son that I can be proud of.
Sure, Mom.
No, promise me. Promise me.
I promise. Just rest now, okay?
When I graduated from high school, I joined the Air National Guard with some of my friends. That was the summer of 1957. And then, because I couldn't get into basic training at the same time as my buddies, I joined the regular Air Force. That allowed me to be with my friends for 2 weeks of active duty training at Lackland Air Force Base. When 2 weeks were over, my friends